Mr. Evans, thank you very much for being with us.
Honored to be with you, Guy. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. And let's start with congratulations.
Indeed, congratulations. Congratulations, Israel.
Have you spoken to President Trump?
No. No, I'm here right now, and he's way too busy for have a conversation with me.
So let's speak specifically about what we can expect.
Okay, Donald Trump, number one, does not want wars. He was opposed to the Iraq War. He was opposed to the Afghanistan War. And he certainly was opposed to the Ukraine War. Wants to end that quickly. Wants to end it quickly. He's going to do everything humanly possible to avoid being a wartime president. So how does that work for the state of Israel when Israel's at war with Iran? And you've had two Iranian armies attacking you in the north and the south. Well, here's how it works. Israel has a window wide open right now. It's an 8-week window approximately between now and the 20th of January. And what I believe, knowing Donald Trump as well as I know him, he wants Israel to finish the job in the next 8 weeks. How can they do that? Number one, they're already 85% in the north and the south. And they can finish the job in the next 8 weeks in the north and the south. And then you say, well, what about the one in Iran? I believe what Donald Trump would like in the next 8 weeks is for Israel to attack Iran's oil and shipping containers. If they strike the oil and cargo shipping, they'll collapse the economy of Iran. 85% of the population of 85 million despise the mullahs. And this is going to be a golden opportunity. They need to do it before January 12th, and here's why. The first thing that's going to happen is a major economic shockwave that's going to hit the U.S. markets and the world. Now, everybody will recover from it, but you don't want to give that gift to Donald Trump, a major economic shockwave, and you don't want to give him the gift of a potential war that could be expanded on.
Have you heard that from the president?
I believe he's sending signals. Knowing him for 4 years, knowing how he thinks and processes, I believe 100% that's what he wants. And he knows, listen, Israel cannot strike the nuclear. Number one, how can you do it? The nuclear reactors are hardened. If they hit them, they won't destroy them completely. Secondly, they're in heavy population cities. Thirdly, there'll be collateral damage on Israel in going in. Fourthly, in order to effectively destroy them, you'd have to use low-yield nuclear, and Israel would never play that card on low-yield nuclear. Once you bankrupt Iran, the game is over. They don't have the funds to do anything, and the people will turn against them. And then Donald Trump is going to give Israel tremendous gifts. The first gift he's going to give Israel, he's going to give them the gift of peace with the whole Sunni world. It'll happen in the first year of his presidency. I've met with the Crown Prince. I know he wants to do the deal. His brother wants to do the deal. It'll happen. This will be the crown jewel of the Abraham Accords, and it'll bring in the whole Sunni world. Once that happens, Iran is finished.
Do you think that that message has been sent in the conversation between Netanyahu and Trump yesterday?
Listen, I don't think it's possible. You know, he's not the president of the United States. He doesn't have the security that Bibi Netanyahu has. I don't think it's possible that that message has been communicated between them directly.
Let's speak about the relations between Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu. We've seen that great cooperation during their term, but that relations have also seen some shakes, especially when Netanyahu congratulated President Biden on his election. Later we heard from Donald Trump about how Israel backed off from cooperating in the elimination of Qasem Soleimani.
Well, number one, Israel did not back down on the relationship. That was not correct information. And secondly, Donald Trump has the greatest respect for Benjamin Netanyahu. Sure, there's a difference between the two of them, yes. The biggest difference between the two of them, Donald Trump says what he thinks. Bibi thinks before he says. There's a difference between the two of them. But they're both brilliant men, they're both strong men, and they have the greatest respect for each other.
How do you think the second term of Trump is going to look like, considering his lessons from the past, knowing the region, and as a president in general?
His focus primarily is going to be on domestic policy. He's going to shut that border down. He's going to drain the swamp. He's going to make massive reforms in America and try to build the American economy greater than it's ever built. And he'll succeed, by the way, with all that. He's not an isolationist. But as a businessman, he's not a big fan of running around the world, throwing $1 trillion here and $1 trillion there.
Will we see Trump confronting Russia over its war with Ukraine, over what we're saying with Israel as well?
What Trump's going to do with Russia is, listen, the war is not winnable. It's not a winnable war. You have a man who's a dictator, who is a trillionaire with his oligarchs, Putin, who has half the nuclear weapons in the world. This is not a man you want to pick a fight with when he has the nuclear weapons. He'll negotiate a resolution. Putin's going to have to give up some things. Zelensky will have to give up some things. But Ukraine can rebuild, and the suffering can stop. There's so many people that have no arms and no legs, and so many widows and orphans. The war will end. He'll end the war in Ukraine. He wants this war to end. Israel can end this war, and then you can start building. America has the ability to assist the state of Israel in its bright and shining future.
Dr. Owen's, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're very welcome.